eyeballs for fun and was careless enough to drop them. But dropping my grandma's famous matzo balls like this? The afternoon before she was supposed to serve them at the weekly sisterhood meeting at the temple, the one she'd told me was extra important? They were going to kill me. I winced as I heard footsteps coming toward the basement door. Maybe I could salvage this. If I could distract my grandma before she saw the mess, I could fix things. The matzo balls had actually held together pretty well. Only a few had smashed apart. I could gather the other ones and give them a good rinse to get the basement dust off them, and nobody would ever have to know what happened. "Don't come down here," I called up to the half-closed door. The footsteps stopped, but my heart was still racing. "I'm naked." "You're naked?" The voice sounded dubious, and it wasn't my grandma's. "Why are you naked?" I said a few words under my breath that would have gotten me grounded if I said them in front of my parents. It wasn't Grandma Yvette, but it was the only person whose voice I'd rather hear less than my grandma's. "Because I'm changing." "You are not changing in the basement." The footsteps started again. "What did you do, Ruby?" Not even giving me enough time to think up a better lie. Rude. The basement door swung open, revealing my cousin Sarah looking down at me from the top of the stairs. It seemed like my cousin Sarah was always looking down at me, both literally, like now, and figuratively, because Grandma Yvette loved her more, and she knew it. Everybody knew it. Which was why a simple thing like carrying this pot of matzo balls upstairs without spilling them was such a big deal. Sarah sighed down at me. It even seemed like her sighs were gustier than other people's. Maybe it was an advantage of her being 4 months older than me. It didn't sound like that much. We were in the same grade and everything. But she'd had 4 whole extra months of breathing practice. "I can't believe you dropped them all," she said, then glanced over her shoulder. "What happened?" "It wasn't my fault," I said. And it wasn't really. Grandma Yvette had demanded I go get the matzo balls really quickly, so of course I took the stairs 2 at a time. But I knew Sarah wouldn't care, so my shoulders just sagged. I knew better than to say anything about cow eyeballs and remind her about Mr. Zamet's class. Sarah and I had always had our classes together and had been lab partners last year when we dissected an owl pellet. But we'd been placed into different tracks this year. We didn't have any classes together for the first time ever. Whenever anyone brought that fact up, Sarah got all sad and slumpy, which was actually kind of funny compared to her usually perfect posture. Me? I was usually slumpy. But it wasn't because Sarah and I were in different classes. Sarah glanced over her shoulder again. Her shiny dark hair bounced as she did it, too, like it was trying to rub how shiny it was in my face. She always had it tied back in a ponytail, neat and never frizzy. Her blouses were always white, and they never had funny slogans or food stains on them. "Maybe we can—"
"What's going on?"
Grandma Yvette's voice was a rumble that traveled all through the house, so hearing it didn't mean she was close. Maybe I could fix this before... She appeared behind Sarah at the top of the stairs, wide enough to fill the entire doorway. Sarah was taller than me, but she seemed to shrink. I had only a few seconds to speak. "I didn't mean to," I said hastily. "I'll pick them all up. Grandma Yvette's pale blue eyes bore down on me. I stopped talking immediately as she began, her voice quiet. A smile stretched out over her face, a big fake one that didn't warm her eyes even a little.
"Ruby, Diana, Taylor, what in the world happened down there?"